Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool and this is Gems of War. And today we have the Vault event, baby. The best time to be playing the game if you can play extra. So, yeah, we'll be going over that, farming, everything. So, like I've said, through the Vault event you can get everything in the game. So, whether it's Dragonite, whether it's gems, orbs, a certain tarot card, anything you can say. War coins, writs, deeds, kingdom level and power, mythics, legendaries. You can get everything through the Vault event. So all you got to do is do it right. Do it correctly. Don't do anything strange. Don't be getting distracted by other things. It's pretty simple. You just do Explore 1 with Rowan or Ironhawk. If you're doing anything other than that, then you can't, complain because you're not doing it properly. So I'll show you how to do this thing, and there's Moon Mage too. Like, there's a couple of things that are just, of course, technically you could do the Moon Mage team. And there's a couple things that are a little bit slower, but then it's not, you're not allowed to complain. You're using a slower team, so you lose that right to complain. Or if you're going off to PvP, or if you're going off to Explore 12, or if you're doing the Underspire, or if you're doing other things, the only thing you can't do is complain because you're not doing it the way you're supposed to be doing it, and you know that it's a video game. Do whatever you want. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying we can't go and say, well, I only got this many vault keys, or I don't have Stellarix, or we can't do that if we're not doing it right. So let's do it right, and then I get to see people saying, I got Zul'Goth, I got Dawnbringer, I got Stellarix, I got Diamantina. I get to see that all the time in my chat and in my comments when they finally adopt the right way of doing it. And that's the best thing ever to see. Because that's what I do this for. I want to see people saying, I got it. I finally got Stellarix. I took your advice. I did the Vault event the correct way. I didn't get distracted by anything else. I didn't use a weird team. And I finally got Stellarix. I finally got Zul'Goth. Let me set the stream up here. Hopefully y'all can hear me. There we go. There we go. Doot doot. The Vault event you will not see as a normal event. It is just that gnomes appear more often. There's a pity key thing that you can see at least. If we go to events, it is an event. It's just not a traditional shop leaderboard event. It's just gnomes appear more often. And vault keys never do a gap outside of a vault event, please. That's like one of the worst things you could do in the entire game. That is literally the worst thing you could do ever in this game, probably, is to, not being in a guild is way, way up there. I need to make a video on this one day. I think I have, made similar videos before, but there's some cardinal sins in this game, and that is one of them. Not being in a guild is a cardinal sin, and using a gap outside of a vault event is a cardinal sin. Because it's the best, it's like the best thing in the game, and you're wasting it. So it'd be like putting a $100 bill into a gumball machine to get one gumball. Just because you don't have a quarter. You're using that $100 bill wrong just to get one gumball. Something that you could get other ways. It's the money machine. Don't get out the money machine. You're catching $100 bills. Don't get out and get that dime. You know my little stupid metaphors. My dad jokes. I think I got everything set up here. I don't think I'll do a thumbnail. I mean, it's Vault event. We have these all the time, so it's hard to keep making different thumbnails for it. There's only so many troops and so many ways I can make a thumbnail for this. I think I'm just gonna make it my regular thing. I see Maka, I see Bazooka, I see Mark. What up? How's it going? Let me jump into the chat here. Hopefully it's not gonna yell at me. Forget if I muted it. Alright, got it. Put it in live chat. Boom. Gotta do a couple more things here, then I'll be ready to go. I'll put in chapters so you can skip this part. Me getting ready. Best time ever to be playing. No leaderboard, no shop, but gnomes appear more often. Explore 1. Do those gaps. Do those gaps. Gnome A Palooza. What's a gap? What's a gap, Sinnycool? It's a Gnome A Palooza. You got to get 4 different verses. And the way you get those is by making gnomes appear. The Gnomapalooza gnomes are a rarer version of a gnome. A gnome. So the way you get gnomes to appear is by just killing enemies as quickly as possible. They don't have to be hard enemies. They don't have to be enemies with armpit hair. They don't have to be gymnastic enemies that know how to do gymnastics. They just have to be any enemy. So you can... that means to do the weakest enemies you can. It just has to be any enemy. They don't have to have a mustache and live in Texas. Like... It's just any enemy, so that means kill the weakest enemies as quickly as possible, because that's all that matters. You want to see the next set of enemies, so you can have a chance at having a gnome pop up in battle. So there's like every battle, for every troop, there's a % chance a gnome pops up. During a vault event, there's a higher chance. Outside of the vault event, there's the same thing. You could do Explore 1 outside of a vault event, but there's a really, really low chance you see a gnome. And then when you see that gnome finally, with that low chance, it rolls the dice again, and it determines which gnome it is. Like, treasure gnomes are super common. Jewel gnomes are common. Soul gnomes are common. But then you have the less common gnomes, like the Dragonite gnome, the Gnomapalooza gnomes, the Curse gnome, whatever it's called. So you got to roll that dice twice and get low chances 2 in a row to get a Gnomapalooza gnome. But during a vault event, gnomes appear more often, so it raises every chance for all that stuff, and you will get them eventually. So, but you got to kill as many enemies as quickly as possible, because it's still not like a super high chance you're going to get Cindy. Because even if you roll the gnome, and then you roll a Gnomapalooza gnome, and then you roll a Cindy. Like, that's why you're not seeing the gnome that you want, because it's like 3 different rolls in a row that are rare. But, like, during a vault event, it's a higher chance. So that's why you just cycle the enemy, cycle the enemy, cycle the enemy. Kill as many weak enemies as you can, back to back to back to back to back to back to back. What PvP league am I in? I'm in the Dark Order, just like the one everybody picked. Okay, got that, I got that. Sorry for ranting, but kind of. But I'm explaining it. I'm explaining it. The vault event. I don't care. I want people to do their best and get the most. So however it sounds, that's all. That's the main goal. It doesn't matter to me how you do it. You know what I mean? I don't know how you do it. I'm not sitting behind you. I'm not... no one will ever know how you're doing this. So do it however you want. I just want to let people know the best way to do it. That way we can get the best results possible, and then I can see those comments of I got Stellarix, I got Zulgoth. So I love that. Alright, let me grab a couple blinkies here. Let's get rewards. I accidentally used my PvP goals last night like an idiot. I was finishing PvP last night, because that's what you do on the day before the vault event. You just finish everything, so you have nothing to do during the vault event. So our guild is done with the guild event. Let's go give some shine to a person real quick, because they did really awesome. Let's showcase this person. Ghost Bustin'. We have Bill Murray. Bill Murray was Ghost of Bustin'. Aloysius Sweet, look at that. 19,000 had us done on a Wednesday. And that's what you want to see during a vault event week. You want to be done by Thursday. We were done by Wednesday, which let us finish other things on Thursday. It was amazing. So I threw 5 million gold at the tasks after I saw this as a thanks. And bang. Aloysius Sweet, thank you so much. Shout out to you. Freaking crushed it. That way we can do the vault event properly. I got my PvP done. One thing I don't have done is Underspire, because it's almost impossible to get it done by the vault event unless you like spend way too much gems. But I got this done too. So those things are done. What else do we got? Some offers here. Okay. But we're about to get started. But let me do a chapter. We gotta see which kingdom we're gonna do, because sometimes the extra stats for the week mess that up. But we have Maka Mark, SF Gomez, Bazooka de Bruce. It's probably my favorite name right now, Bazooka de Bruce. Maka, though. Maka's a classic. Maka Felix. We got Mark. We got Charles, right? Rain Man's here. How's it going, dude? Glorfindel. Glorfindel. We got Mark with the 2 running out there. Vault Key Luck this weekend. Yeah. Manadwin's here. Morning. Charles says, damn. Change medals? Yeah, I gotta change medals, too. That's a good point. Glorfindel, he says, hey, Sunny, I'm curious. I don't have the troops, but I wonder how Imperial Jewel, Triple Takshaka, or Double Takshaka Queen Aurora would work as a quick clear. Well, as far as Imperial Jewel, Triple Takshaka, you would have to cast multiple times with the Takshaka because it doesn't hit all enemies. That's the first thing that I think. You know, Takshaka doesn't hit all enemies, so... Like, with the Iron Hawk, you just have to click one button, pretty much, right? Pretty much. Especially when you're doing hunting versus, you just push one button, you push Dust Devil. You can't, like, even fathom something faster than that, because it's just one button. There's not 2 buttons, 3 buttons, it's one button. You push Dust Devil, you win. So as far as hunting versus, I don't think anything's ever going to get faster than pushing one button. And then as far as, like, the Gnome-a-Paloozas go, maybe, but Takshaka doesn't hit all enemies, so, you know, even if you loop, you still got to push multiple buttons and watch the gems do a thing on the board, you know what I'm saying? So, with the Sister Superior and the Dust Devil, you just cast 2 spells and nothing happens on the board. That's why Sister Superior is faster than Greed, because Greed makes a little explosion on the board. Sometimes the board will slow you down. Like, even with the Rowan team and the Leprechaun, you explode the Leprechaun, the board cascades for 15 minutes, and then you cast your Rowan. Sometimes with the Greed, when you're not using Sister Superior, he will blow up a gem at the start of battle, the board will cascade for, you know, literally like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. But if that happens multiple times, you're adding minutes to your... Yeah? So with Takshaka and Imperial Jewel... Even if everything perfectly happens, you still have to cast the Takshaka, which only will kill 2 enemies. And then you have to hope that it loops when you cast it. And then you have to cast it again. And then it's going to loop, you know, and do stuff. So I feel like it's going to be slower. But you'd have to try it, I guess. But just in theory, I think it's going to be slower. But yeah, let's see what everybody said, then I'll add the chapter so people can just go straight to the vault event here. Maka says hello. Mark, good morning. SF Gomez, hi. Bruce, Bazooka to Bruce, morning. Afternoon, says Maka. She says, this time I was first to comment. Muhihi. Charles says, almost to 1,000 keys, 65 to go. Holy cow, how'd you do that already? Oh, you mean like you already had keys? Is that what you mean? I like to go to 0 and then see how many I can get, because then you know exactly. You can't forget. Like, oh, I had 165 keys. I got to remember that so I can figure out how many I got this weekend. Now, I'd rather have 0. That way, whatever it says is what I got. But that's freaking cool to have 1,000 keys. Maka says, did you stay in Purple League for PvP? I once saw you there, Glorfindel. Yeah, I'm in Purple, too. Yeah, Dark Order. Morning, Manadwin. Yeah, I gotta change my medals. That's another thing. You don't want certain medals on while you do... I think Nisha's fine. But, like, there's certain medals that add an animation to every fight. I think it's, like... It's either Anu or Orpheus, one of those, that you don't want. But good point. Changing medals is a way to min-max. Nadwin said, did your keyboard get fixed? Well, my laptop is broken. Like, the keyboard on the laptop is broken. So some of the, like, the V doesn't work, the N doesn't work, you know, the function, you know, people are trying to help me with the function keys and all that for playing. But then somebody said they like that I use the cursor because they can see everything I do. So I think I'm going to keep it the way I'm doing it. But it would be nice for when I'm not streaming or not doing a video to figure out the other way. So I'm still going to, like, look at it. But I do have a keyboard on my lap. But it's just hard to play freaking the hardest game in the world with a keyboard on your freaking lap. You know what I'm saying? Charles says, Greed, Dust Devil, Ironhawk, Ironhawk. Yeah, that's good. Mark says, can you explain to those watching why you change your medals to do level 1 Explorer? Well, there's like an extra animation if you... Let's like go look at it. Let's try to make it happen. It's very, 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 like, subtle and not very much time, but when you're doing a vault event and you're doing so many battles so quickly over 3 days for so many hours, any little thing can add up. So if you want to min-max and get as many keys as possible, you got to do all these little things. Where's my team? No turns for you. Alright, so let's, let me do this real quick, and then we'll put on some different medals. Glorfindel with the 5, just because you love me. Appreciate it, dude. Love you back. No, I mean, with the wild cards, it puts on the board before casting. Yeah, that's what I meant by, like, if everything goes perfectly, that if the wild cards hit and you get Takshaka up, then you still have to cast the Takshaka, because you have to kill them. You have to kill them. So you have to do something to kill them. So you're casting the Takshaka, you're killing 2 of them, and then you're hoping Takshaka loops, right? Unless I'm thinking of something wrong here, but you cast Takshaka, you kill 2 of them. The board may or may not loop, and that's a problem already because you're leaving it up to chance. Like, it'll loop, you know, like 80-something% of the time, but what if it doesn't? Then you just wasted some time. Then when it does loop, does it get back up your... Then you have a Takshaka up, and then you cast it. You're still like... The overall time is going to be more than a Sister Superior Dust Devil every single time. Never messing with the board. You're doing the same thing every single time. It always works. You know what I mean? Except for like every once in a while there's a enemy that survives. Let's see. So, let me just lock this in. But if you have on, is it Orpheus? I think it's Orpheus. Even if it's not, let's put on an Anu too. Then we can see. I think it's Orpheus. If you have that medal on by accident, like I don't think anybody would do it on purpose, but you could do this by accident. Just watch the very start of the battle. You have to have like a quick eye, but it'll add a little animation to every single battle. You see that Medal of Anu popped up? Medal of Orpheus popped up? It has to do all those things before you can cast. So if you have either one of those medals, it pops up a little animation telling you that you have them, which adds time to every fight. It might just be a half a second, but if you're doing, you know, a battle every 6 seconds, and you're adding a half a second to every one of those, you know what I mean? Like, holy cow, that's a lot. You're doing 10 fights a minute, and you're adding 5 seconds to every minute, and then times 60, that's 300 seconds, and then it starts to add up. That's like 5 minutes. So that's a third of a Gnome-a-Palooza that you just lost, just by having the wrong medal on. Or something like that, you know, maybe it's early in the morning, I'm doing math. Glorfindel's in green. Oh, you thought I had the ghost, but hey, but you brought up something that was important, Maka, so either way. RC says, can I see your fastest team? Oh, Imperial Jewel does damage? Okay. I see what you mean, then. I was thinking of a different weapon. That's what I meant by... Maybe I'm not thinking right. I thought it was the dumb weapon that does all the mana generation. There's another one that's like something... What's that one called? I always get those two confused. I don't know. Maybe that's a good idea then, Glorfindel. But I just think nothing can be... Well, I guess. If you get up with the... But then you're like doing stuff on the board too, you know what I mean? Like, watch... I better put a chapter first. Hold on. I like that you're thinking about it. Like, I'm kind of complacent because it's so freaking fast that I'm just never looking for something faster because it's like I can't imagine anything getting faster than this. So if we happen to find something faster, you know, it's gonna take some convincing for me to believe it. But yeah, I'm a little bit hard-headed, a little bit like that. All right, Vault Event. We got 20 minutes. Took me 20 minutes, but I did explain some things before that. So people that watch the entire stream get way more out of them than people that just click around on the chapters. Alright, so this team is for doing gaps. So if we were verse hunting, we would copy that, get rid of that. That's another little min-max you can do, is copy one of the two teams. That way you can just paste it in when you need it. This is the fastest team in the game. It's super bougie. Super bougie, but it's the best way to get verses. If you don't have this, just do double Ironhawk or Rowan. Do you see how nothing happens on the board, and every single time we just cast one thing? So, if you... Imperial Jewel and Dust Devil, okay? They cancel each other out. They cancel each other out, right? But all that business with the Takshaka matching gems on the board with the elemental stars or whatever, that takes time. It doesn't take 0 time. You got to watch it happen on the board. So, however long that takes is how much longer that team would take than this team. Because nothing happens on the board here. As soon as the fight starts, we can cast. We don't have to... You know what I mean? So maybe for gaps. Maybe for gaps. But for hunting versus, I don't think anything's going to beat this. It's like almost impossible. It's pretty much impossible to beat this for hunting versus. Like, nothing happens. You just cast a spell. There's no time. There's no time to save. Like, it's literally as fast as you can go. There's 0 time to save. It's not even really worth looking. But as far as, like, doing, Gnome-a-Paloozas, I'm not sure. There might be... Because you have to push, like, 2 buttons instead of 1. So if you can make it to where you only have to push 1 button instead of 2 buttons, then that's obviously faster. But then, like, you're using stuff happening on the board instead of casting one thing. So I feel like it might be just as fast. It might be the same speed. But it's hard to get faster than the double Ironhawk, too. Because you never have to leave it up to chance. That's the best part. Anytime you have to use Takshakas, you're leaving it up to chance that those elemental stars will go in the right spots and fill up your, Imperial Jewel or whatever. You're leaving it up to chance. This team, these two teams that I'm using, never have to leave it up to chance. It works 100% of the time. The only time it doesn't work is when, like, an enemy survive. There's some times that an enemy has too much HP every once in a while. Like, 1 out of however many fights. Like, it happens occasionally. So it's not 100%, but... Like, if we had the same fights over and over and over, and we had the same... This team versus that team... This team would be way more consistent than that team, because sometimes those elemental stars aren't going to line up, and then you have to move gems on the board, and then it just takes a little bit longer. So it's more about consistency than, like a drag race. We line up next to each other. That team could keep up, maybe tie, but every once in a while the engine's going to blow up, and I'm going to win by default. Like, if we run 10 races, like, you're never going to win, but you might tie me, like, 8 out of 10 times or something. But I'm going to beat you a couple times. But anyway. Let's go check out... what do we got for... We got Goblins and Zhejian. So that's probably good for the Vault event. All those extra stats will be in Zhejian, probably. So we're probably good to go with Cinemirage. Unless Cinemirage has a Goblin, which would be weird. Which I doubt. We can check it real quick. This is something you kind of need to do if you're min-maxing for the event. You need to see where are you going to go. You're going to stay in the same spot, and usually it's Cinemirage or Wild Plains, but sometimes they have extra stats, so you got to double check if they have extra stats, and I super doubt that there's a Goblin in Cinemirage, but we could see. See, there's nothing. So Cinemirage is usually a good spot to do verse hunting and gaps and stuff. If you don't like Cinemirage, Wild Plains is a good one too. And they're both right next to each other. That's what I like about it. You don't have to, like, remember this and then one way over here and then one way over here, They're both right here. Easy to remember. They're right next to each other. They both work, usually. I almost want to do Wild Plains because I've been doing Cinemirage so much. Let's see what y'all are saying. But that's my fastest team, RC. Celestial Flask. Charles says I found using a controller. Yep, you can preload inputs on a controller. I'm the only one that's ever said that on YouTube, and if anybody else says it, they got it from me. You can preload inputs on a controller for every fight. You can't do that. You can kind of do that on mouse, like you're hovering over the spot where you're gonna click. It's similar, but you're right. I think a controller is faster for the Vault event. Everything else, though, I feel like mouse, finger is faster. But during the Vault event, where you're just casting spells and that's it. You're not moving gems on the board. I feel like controller's the best for Vault event. Yeah, I kind of misunderstood Glorfindel, I guess. Mark says Black Manacles, Rowan, 2 times Leprechaun if you don't have Iron Hawks. That sounds pretty good. Can I spell out instead of abbreviating? Yeah. IH is Iron Hawk. Imperial Jewel, double Firebomb, Mirage Queen works as low, quick cost clear every time. Mirage Queen is for 50% on Rowan, that's it. Crow says, I thought this was a new account. I was like, how'd he get Iron Hawks already? Yeah, nah. We do new account on Thursday and Sunday. Okay. So, let's go show you that I have 0 keys. Wherever they may be. See how many gaps I have. I got 4 gaps. I got the most keys I've ever got from a Vault event, last Vault event, so I doubt I'm going to be changing anything up this time, you know what I mean? I have 20,000 gems plus. I doubt I'm going to be changing anything up this time. Just by the way, it's going to be hard to get me to try something new right now, because I just did my best ever, and I just got more gems than I've ever had, and I have almost every troop in the game, so it's hard to, it's going to be hard to convince me at the moment to try something new, unfortunately. Just a little context for you, sorry. We got 4 gaps and 0 vault keys. So we are going to be trying... I don't know how many I'm going to try for, because I got 500 last time. Do I really need to do that again? Somebody was going to compete with me this weekend, and then I haven't heard from them since. I don't think, unless it was somebody here. But people do that all the time. They pop up and disappear, so... Let's get this off. And let's go to town. Let's see where we at as far as boss chest. We're on 54. You might want to hunt versus real quick to get that to 0. Because that's another little min-max you can do. Make sure you don't hit a boss chest during a gap. A Gnome-palooza. So this is my verse hunting team. I do verse hunting till a boss chest, then run a gap. Then verse hunting till a boss chest, then run a gap. And I do that over and over and over all weekend. So I'm going back and forth between gaps and verse hunting. I forced myself to do that. You don't want to be hunting verses all weekend, and you don't want to be running gaps all weekend. If you're running gaps all weekend, you did something wrong a different weekend. And your vault key total is a little bit, you know. Some people come up with these 1,000-something vault key totals, but they had to sit there and farm versus one of the vault events the whole entire time. So if you, average it out, they didn't really do anything too special. While I was getting 500 last time, they were hunting verses and getting, 100. I never know how I'm gonna... stream. Freaking idiot. Sometimes I'll be extra grumpy. Extra grumpy saying stupid stuff. I need to learn how to say everything in a nice way. I feel like I do it the opposite. I'm not even trying. You think I'm sitting here trying to say things in a mean way? It's just how I talk and how everything comes out. I wish I had that That's one skill I lack. And I've always lacked it too, like throughout real life and jobs and everything. I suck at being fake and like super nice. Like, oh sweetie, that was a good wheelie. Way to go. Oh sweetie, that was a neat wheelie that you popped. Welcome to Walmart, I love you. I just don't have that. That's why I suck at politics at work and stuff, and I never get anywhere, and I always end up leaving. I'd rather sit there and freaking work hard than... Good job popping a willy! Welcome to Walmart, I love you! Happy gnome hunting, baby! Bruce says, do gnomes from vault keys count to the free vault keys and gap as well? Do gnomes from vault keys? No, you're not supposed to open vault keys during the vault event. But I don't know, because that's another cardinal sin. I don't even want to answer that because you shouldn't do that. You get the same amount of rewards from a vault key outside of a vault event that you would inside of a vault event. So the right thing to do is to not open vault keys during a vault event. That's another cardinal sin. So we came up with 3 cardinal sins today. Can I come up with 7? Like gluttony and sloth. Can I come up... Is there 7? I don't know. I think there's 7 cardinal sins, right? Isn't the movie called 7? First cardinal sin. Don't join a guild. You're gonna burn. Second cardinal sin. Using a Gnomapalooza outside of a vault event. You're gonna burn. Third cardinal sin. Opening vault keys during a vault event. You're gonna burn. I know, I need to watch that again. I feel like I've seen it, but I don't remember it. You know what I mean? Fourth cardinal sin. Not turning up to 4 times speed as soon as possible. Fifth cardinal sin of Gems of War. Not buying the Death Knight armor as the first thing you buy immediately if you're going to buy something. That's a long one. I got to shorten that one up, huh? A little explanation is needed for that one, yeah? If you're going to buy the Death Knight armor, buy it as soon as possible. If you're going to spend any money on this game at all, 1 red penny, you're better off saving up for Death Knight armor and getting it ASAP than spending money on anything else. If you only have $2, put that $2 in your piggy bank and save it up. Alright, you're supposed to know exactly what you want from these before they even pop up. So if you're looking for purple deeds and you're going to buy them every time, just know that before they pop up. If it's green, know that before they pop up. If you are going to buy whatever every single time, if you're buying Dragonite, if you're buying the dungeon offer every day for Dragonite, you might as well buy this one too because it's the same exact price. If you're not buying the dungeon offer every day for Dragonite, don't buy this one because it's the same thing, it's the same exact price. So why would you buy something you're not buying other times? Like, they're offering it to you every day and you're not buying it. So why would you all of a sudden buy it from a merchant when it's the same exact price? If you break it down, it's the same amount for each piece of Dragonite. So know in your head exactly what you're going to do here before it even pops up. And for me, I'm buying only purple deeds right now, so I'm not going to buy the green deeds. And buying the gold offer, usually you can't go wrong, and it's kind of just fastest. But you can also think, okay, if I see souls in that gold slot, I'm not buying it, I'm just going to cancel out. If I see treasure maps in that gold slot, I'm not buying it, I'm just going to cancel out. But everything else, you're pretty much like pet food, gem keys. You just click it real quick because who cares? Like, you're getting gold right now. And gold's not as precious as gems are. Especially if you're like a person doing 3 Iron Hawks, you probably have plenty of gold. kind of know what you're going to do before the merchant pops up. Instead of, like, sitting there for an hour debating on which one to buy or whatnot. Should I get it? I don't know. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, maybe. I don't know. Should I? You know, if you do that for too long, you're wasting time. I'm done. I don't know. The person wanted to compete via trophies, which would have been weird anyway, because you got the whole week running up to the Vault event where you're getting trophies, so I don't know. It would have had to have started on Monday. Guess we could compete with Vault keys, but I think you'd crush me, Mark. Rain Man, you never have time. Professor says there's a difference between being fake and being honest in a kind way. Yeah, I guess. I should probably try that. It's easier to, like, just say what I want to say instead of sitting here and thinking about it beforehand to make sure I'm doing it nicely. Mark says, last Vault event I got 800 Dragonite just from Gnomes. It was crazy. And that's the best way to get it. I've seen all these convoluted ways to get Dragonite, when all you gotta do is do the Vault event super hard, and do the dungeon every day. Yeah, for sure, Bruce. I love it when people say stuff like that, because then, you know, somebody out there's lurking, and now they know as well. It's like one of my favorite things. I will never call a person, like, stupid or wrong or anything, at least not, you know, I'm not gonna single anybody out for anything. I love when people say things and ask questions where it brings up a topic where I can discuss, like, the best way to do something. Because more than just the people here are hearing it, which is cool. Not registering your account, that's a good one. Going for pets during a Vault event is a cardinal sin. I know, and that's a really sore subject for a lot of people. They don't want to accept it. There's just so many ways to get pets, I don't understand. They just keep adding and adding and adding and adding and adding ways to get pets. You won't do the epic trials, but you'll sit here and do pets during a Vault event. The same person that's not doing epic trials is the same person going and doing PvP and whispering to each other about pets all weekend. Like, I can't... What? If you're that excited about pets, do the epic trials. Like, it's a half-price pet. You can do it all week. You could just run autoplay all day on epic trials until it actually wins while you're not playing the game. And you'd at least get a copy or two, and that's way better than doing pets during a Vault event. But epic trials, Underworld, every Wednesday there's a Kingdom pet. The Legends Reborn, holiday events, campaign. They just keep adding and adding and adding and adding and adding pets and different ways to get them. So it's not like I need a pet for this kingdom, I have to do it. No, well, not really, because you only need 3 fully ascended, and they pretty much give you that outside of the Vault event, so... I mean, if you're trying to collect every pet, I guess. I just don't feel like pets are that important. Like, they don't do anything for you. You have to build the weirdest team in the world to get stats from pets. To build, like, a full team of giants with mustaches to get enough stats for a pet to matter. And then all those other pets don't matter that you got, because only the ones that boost giants with mustaches are actually doing anything. So your pet that boosts dragons, your pet that boosts swimwear, your pet that boosts thongs, they don't do anything while you're doing the giants with mustache thing. So all the only pets you really need are 3 from each kingdom fully ascended, and it doesn't matter which ones they are or what they do. And they're like built into the game, the way that the game works. You can get them without going out of your way, really. Just do epic trials, Underworld, and, you know, wait for the Kingdom Week and do the Wednesday pet. Now you got the 3 pets you need to get your Kingdom Power, whatever the reason you're doing pets for. But if it's for collection purposes, you know, Like, if it's like a Pokemon thing. But then once again, we can't complain as nicely as possible. Say it as nicely as possible. We can't complain. If we're doing pets, we can't complain. If we don't have Stellarix, we can't complain, little fella. If you don't have Stellarix, you can't complain if you're doing pets. You're just not allowed to, because you're making yourself not get Stellarix. So it's kind of weird to complain about it when you're doing something to actively not get it. That'd be like running backwards in a race and complaining that you didn't win. What the hell? What the hell? Referee shot the gun. Referee, it's your fault. Guy runs backwards every time they fire the gun. What? What? My shoes? My shoes are all, they're not tight. These shoes are defective. Freaking shoes. Every time they shoot the gun, he runs backwards. Blaming something else other than himself running backwards. There's 10 dudes lined up. They fire the gun. 9 of them sprint forward. The one guy runs backwards. What the hell? Well, you need to stop running backwards, sir. But I like running backwards. It's my favorite. Well, then you can't complain about not winning the race, because the race is that-a-way, not that-a-way. I don't care. It's the way I do it. I run backwards. They shoot another, he enters another race. Can't believe I lost. This is bullcrap. Freaking referee shooting the gun. My shoes. Bro, I already told you, you're running backwards. You're never gonna win. Doesn't matter what you say. All your excuses don't matter. You gotta quit running backwards. That's the only thing that matters. Quit running backwards. My shoes, the referee, the crowd was yelling at me. They're holding up a sign saying my booty's big and... Well, you just gotta, I'm sorry. Like, it's never gonna change. You're running backwards. You're never gonna win. I don't care. I know you want a trophy. I know you're complaining about not having that trophy, but you're just never gonna win if you're running backwards. I'm sorry. How come everybody else gets a trophy? I don't get a trophy, stupid RNG. Stupid RNG, never get a trophy. Running backwards. He's arguing with all the other racers like, it's bullcrap, man. Bullcrap. How come that guy always gets the trophy? The other ones are just agreeing because they didn't win either, you know. But they tried. They went forward at least. They have they can complain. They're allowed to because they actually did the right thing. They ran forward. So they deserve to complain. Like most people deserve to complain. Like the RNG is bullcrap. The eggs suck. Getting the same dragon every time is literal bullshit. So a lot of people are allowed to complain, but the only person, like 9 out of 10 people, go ahead and complain about not having Stellarix because you're probably doing the game right and you're just getting unlucky. But the guy running backwards is not allowed to complain. Like he needs to fix that first, then you can complain. Quit running backwards first, and then you can join everybody else in complaining. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing a gap. I already got my boss chest. Crow said any money spent should be on Death Knight armor. Yes. Dervicious says cardinal sin, spending gems on chests. Yes, dude. I think we got 7 now. We did the 7 cardinal sins of Gems of War on stream. Maybe that'll be the next members only video. There's a members only video right now. I know that's kind of annoying, but it's not to like leave anybody out. That's not the purpose of it. It's not to try to get more members. That's not the purpose of it. And you know I'm freaking annoyingly honest that I sound like a dickhead all the time. That's not the reason. The reason is to give back to the members because I haven't been giving them anything that they deserve as far as like seeing videos early and stuff like that. So the members only video is for the members because they deserve it. And it's not like a weird trick to try to get more members or anything. It's not going to happen anyway, so It is what it just. But that might make for a good another members only video like next month or something. The 7 cardinal sins of Gems of War, something like that. Would be cool. All right, let's paste our team. This is the Gap team, the Gnome-a-Palooza team. Let's lock it in, even though you probably don't have to. Cardinal sin, not having a cat pet equipped. I got my Chihuahua equipped, and he's never coming off there because my little puppy, R.I.P. Rocky. Doesn't matter what pet you have on your shoulder, so I'm always going to keep my Rocky on my shoulder. Black Manacles is a good choice for the Rowan weapon, yep. Bruce says extra souls, gold, and XP pets are good though. Yep. Hey, those are good. If you see those out, yeah. There's definitely 3 of them. Mini Mimic, Lucky, and Moon Moon. Those are the 3 that really matter as far as like what they do, their little extra boost, their little extra stats. There are some pets also that boost a specific troop that if that troop is really, really good, those are good too. Like, I should make a top 10 pets list or something. I bet you that would get 1 trillion views. The runner used Reebok pump shoes and ran backwards. Weezamon says, Yellow Dragon, please. I feel ya. Good morning, Yoke. Yoke says, Mark, you got 800 Dragonite last Vault event. Yup. It happens, man. I believe it. You can do the pause method at the end of the gaps to get more Dragonite, but it's very, like... You know, you're not always going to get a Dragonite gnome in the last minute or 2, and it's kind of wasteful if you don't wait. You can't do it with like 5 minutes left in the gap, and you probably don't want to do it with like 3 minutes left in the gap. But if you only have 1 minute left in the gap or seconds left in the gap, then you can waste it, let it run out, and get the full drop of Dragonite from the Dragonite gnomes. If you don't know what I mean about that, you know, I can explain it more. Just let me know. But let's run a gap now. A Gnome-a-Palooza, if you will. There we go. We have 6 of them. And this is how I do it. I'm going to run this gap, and then when I'm done, when the time runs out, I'm going to go hunt versus again. And then when I get a boss chest, I'm going to run a gap. And then when my gap runs out, I'm going to get a boss chest. When I get a boss chest, I'm going to run a gap. I go back and forth, back and forth. So let's get an even number on the elapsed time, so I know exactly when it's going to end. Mark says my wife got a Gem Dragon last event just from the gnomes in the event. Professor says, so the pets that are plus fire bonus, fire example, give more mastery or more mana. Plus fire bonus. I don't know. I don't pay attention, really. We'd have to look at it. There's probably there's probably different pets that do both of those things. It's most likely for mastery, though. Because they're not going to give you, like, a super strong... Like, extra red mana is pretty good. But once again, you'd have to have an entire red team for that to work. And that's the only pet that's going to work. Like, some of the... I don't know. We'd have to look it up. I'm not sure on that one. 49 minutes, what does that mean? Is that 104? What am I doing? Stupid. Wasting time. 104. Alright, here we go. Preloading my inputs. Jamming on the X button. Preloading inputs. Holding an L1. Holding an X. Letting them go. And then Dust Devil. You can preload your first inputs on the loading screen if you have a controller. Holding an L1, holding an X. As soon as you see Sister Superior pop up in the middle of the screen, you let them go, and it counts. And then you cast the Dust Devil, and you win. Holding them in, let go, Dust Devil. And that'll save you, you know, milliseconds every fight, which will add up. and you get better and better at it, where she... If you barely see her pop up in the middle of the screen, then you did it perfect. Frame perfect input. If she just flashes you her boobies real fast. Like you want to barely see her pop up in the middle of the screen. But you can screw it up too, and you can release it too soon, and then she's just standing there with their boobies out at you. So you gotta get the rhythm down. It's better to release a little bit late than to release a little bit early. Right, ladies? Just kidding. Is he done yet? Like, come on, bro. See, I did bad on that one. She was standing there just looking at me. Looking at me like, disappointed at me, you know? She's not mad at me, she's just disappointed. Whenever I release too early, she's not mad at me, she's just disappointed. And she stands there and looks at me. Oh, look, she's disappointed. I did too early. I'll let it loose too early, she's disappointed. Ooh, that was perfect. So what I do is I in my head I'm like gnome, 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 gnome. 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. You know, gnome, 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 gnome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. You can keep it. Kind of keeps you sane too, because this isn't like the most stimulating thing. You're trying to like do frame perfect inputs. It's a little bit fun. Oh, I did too early. If you click it twice real fast, sometimes you can save it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I'm saying in my head. Preload it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. You can either do like counting or you can do visual cues. Like, I think there's something she does right when she pops up. It's something that, like, if you look at her card on the left, it's like one of her animations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, that's another place you gotta look out for. And you gotta push down all of a sudden. The pause method works like Sinny said in the last 2 minutes. Yep. The reason that's a thing is because we were getting way too much loot from Gnomapaloozas that they nerfed it. So, during a Gnomapalooza, you're getting nerfed loot, but it's just like, the vault keys aren't nerfed. Okay, so we're really going after vault keys here. But you still get a lot of the other loot. It's not a bad thing to be doing a Gnomapalooza. You're getting tons and tons of loot because you're killing tons and tons of gnomes. Even with their nerfed loot, it's still a lot. So if you wait till the Gnomapalooza's over during a battle, then you get the non-nerfed loot when you clear the battle out. So the strat is to wait until, like, you're just doing your Gnomapalooza normally, but you know you're keeping track of time. You know when it's going to be over. Like, I know I got 10 minutes left right now. Once I get down to where I have like 2 minutes left or 1 minute left, I start paying attention to the gnomes. And if I see a Dragonite gnome in that last minute, then I might let it, I might just like not kill it, basically. Let it stand there. Let your timer run out. Once the music changes, because you know we got different music right now. Once it goes back to the normal music, you're safe to kill that gnome, that Dragonite gnome, and you'll get the full drop. Which could be the difference between getting 5 Dragonite or like 80. I think you can get up to like 100 Dragonite, right? So when you get a Dragonite gnome during a gap, you're getting like 5 Dragonite. Or 7 Dragonite. Or 10 Dragonite. But when you get... if you wait till the Gnomapalooza is over, you'll get its full drop. Which, you know, sometimes it'll be 20, 30, 40, but you can get up to like 80 or 100 if you get the big roll. Which is impossible if you don't wait. You only get 5, 7, 9, 10. But now that I have like Stellarix and Diamantina, and I can get like 3 Stellarixes if I want, and, you know, I don't do it anymore. But I used to do it. When I needed Stellarix and I needed Diamantina, I used to do it. You're trading a few vault keys though for that Dragonite, so just keep that in mind. You don't want to like do it too much. You don't want to be wasting like 3 minutes or 4 minutes. It's okay to waste 1 minute, maybe 2, depending on how close you are to that Stellarix. If you're super far away from the Stellarix and you still need 5 dragons, you might only want to waste like a minute or less. But if you're super close, you only need 1 dragon, and you're doing everything you can to get Dragonite, then maybe you can waste 2 minutes of your Gnomapalooza for that Dragonite gnome. Depends where you're at in your little journey for the, not your little journey, but, you know, my little journey. Anita with the gifted, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Helps a ton. I need to go buy, I need to have a, what's it called? One of those people that help you with public relations. I need to hire a person to teach me how to not be an a-hole all the time. Rain Man says got 8 different verse gnomes in 4 minutes on Switch. Gnomes up early this morning. Alright, dude. Rain Man does the preload method. You don't know what I mean, just ask and I'll explain it, but I pretty much already did. Right here on the loading bar, you can do exactly what you're about to do. Just hold in the buttons. Like, you're gonna be, like, on PlayStation, I can only tell you what the buttons are for PlayStation. So it might not connect with you if you're on Xbox or Switch. And you got to have your gnomes and your team in the right order. Some people put them in different orders because they see somebody on PC and they copy their team, which is like a normal thing to do. But if you're on PlayStation, you got to do things differently. You're on PlayStation. You're not on PC. That person's on PC. That's why they have them in the order that they have them in. You're on PlayStation. You need to put them in the order I have them in. The confirm button is different on PlayStation than it is on the PC. So the order of your troops is different. So if you think just because Tacit has his troops in a certain order that's the right way, that's not necessarily true because he's on PC and I'm on PlayStation. It's different. The answer is different. The right answer is different depending on what platform you're on. So you can't just always think that you can do that. Alright, I need yellow and brown. Got him. That would not have been a good time because I still have 6 minutes left. Professor says it says mastery, which I don't remember seeing. Barkley, for example, is now plus 10 nature mastery. And you know how much that really is? That's not a lot. 10 mastery would be like probably less than a percentage or something, right? Or no, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's 10%? I don't know. But still. An extra 10% isn't like worth going out of your way for mastery. Like, the difference between having like 55 and 65 isn't worth doing anything. Mark says, that's a lot of gnomes, Rain Man, this early in the day. Good job. Yeah, good job. Rain Man says, being generous for sure. Wish it were like that more often. This game is streaky. You're going to have bad times and good times. A lot of RNG involved. Every single fight has RNG. Everything you do in this game has RNG. Open a chest, RNG. You fight a fight, RNG. There's RNG every single thing you do in this game, so the game is streaky. You're gonna have bad luck and good luck, but it'll even out eventually. Des the Enforcer, hi. Trying to catch the chat as I do this. Just came on to give a thumbs up. Had a bad fall. Everyone have a great day and good luck in the vault event. Well, I hope you get better soon, man. That sucks. I just talked to Tim the other day, by the way. He's still alive. I don't want to like give out his personal business and stuff, so I'm not going to say much more, but just know that I check on people and he's doing okay. You know, he's still alive. I don't know. He gave me something to say to Mike D, but I don't see Mike, so. Allie says trying to get the stream to stream. Thanks again, Anita. Thank you, Chad. I see that. Chad with the 2. You should change your name to Chad with the 2. No, I was kidding. He did the slam dunk. Chad's doing the slam dunk. 360 backflip globetrotters off the trampoline. Professor got the 100 Dragonite Gnome once. Me too. I got it one time, and I didn't even know that was possible until I got it. I was like, whoa. I've never seen 100. I'm used to getting, like, 50 and being, like, excited. 'Cause normally I get, like, 20 or 30. One time I got 100, and I was like, I didn't even know that was possible. Holy cow. It's a lot. Yoke says I will usually only wait after 13 minutes in, so the last 2 minutes. That's perfect. I would like probably, it'd be like nails on a chalkboard for me if I had to sit there and watch somebody wait like 5 minutes for one Dragonite Gnome. I don't know if I could do it. It'd be cringe. I would have to like, you know how you have like the, what's it called? You watch something and you have embarrassment for somebody, and you ever watch something and you have like you're embarrassed for a person? That's what it would be. I don't know if I could do it. I'd be like, no! Keep going! Get those vault keys! Don't wait 5 minutes, that's a long time. The last minute or two, that's cool. And then like 3 minutes is the max. If you're really, really excited about Dragonite Gnomes, you got 3 minutes, nothing more. That's too much. Anything over that's too much. Yoke says, then you'll be fake then, Cinny, and that's what I'm saying. I can't do it. I can't do it unless you want me to be fake. I have to get a public relations coach or something first. So they can teach me how to not just be a jerk and say everything that comes out of my head without a filter. Might rub somebody up the wrong way. But it is what it is. It's been too long. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, you know what I mean? I've been doing this for 7 years. You think I'm going to start changing stuff all of a sudden? Alright, we're very close to the end. If it happens, I will do it. Like, if I see a Dragonite Gnome, I'll do it to just show you. I don't really need it. And we're probably on our last fight anyway. So it's not going to happen. I don't know if I did very good on that one. I was talking a lot. You're going to average around 20 vault keys per gap. If you get 25, that's amazing. If you get 15, that sucks. And it's going to go both ways. Like, I'm going to get 15 sometimes. Let's go see how many we got. Because it's over. This won't tell the whole story because we got to collect our pity keys, but, you know, the first gap you do, you're going to get way more pity keys. So I want to go see, like, kind of get an idea of how many I got without doing the pity keys. I got, whoa! I got 28. I must have been killing it. I was hitting those preloads. 28 vault keys. No pity. No diddy, no pity. That's quite a few. Let me catch up in the chat here. Chad with the 2 thumbs up. Bruce says, what is this about order being different on PC and PlayStation? Okay, so you have a controller when you're playing on PlayStation, and you have a mouse when you're playing on the... Unless you have a controller for your computer, which is, you know, that's a different story. But most people are using the mouse if they're playing on their PC. So, on PlayStation... We got to go to a battle to explain it better. On PlayStation, this is the order you should have your troops in because X is confirm. The X button is confirm. So to confirm every spell, you got to... Yeah. I just accidentally hit that because it's like second nature. But since X is confirm, you know, you put your Sister Superior on X... because you got to press her every single time. So it's way faster to preload it and then just hit X again. Like your thumb is on the same button. So it's easier to like preload it, let go, and it just works like that. It just goes off. I guess you don't have to press it again, but you know what I mean? I don't know. And then Dust Devil up top, because you want to fill its mana up just in case something survives. So Dust Devil's up top because of that, and Sister Superior's on the bottom because of the... I don't know, maybe it would work. Maybe you could preload other inputs. I just think X is easiest on a controller. I don't think it would work with other ones. Hold on, let me try. You know how you see how you have to like push triangle? Okay, to cast a troop on PlayStation, you hold in the L1, and then you push triangle, and then you have to push X. You can't push triangle again, right? So I have to push X. I have to go down all the way down to the X and push cast. On Sister Superior, if she's already X, you can just... Your finger's already on the X, so you're saving time. You know what I mean? You have to cast her every fight first. So you load it in, and then it's already there. Your thumb is already on the button. You don't have to move your thumb at all. You just exit. It's on the X. And then this is in first slot because in case something survives, you need to not mana block it with the Ironhawk. Ironhawk uses yellow and brown, so if you put the Dust Devil anywhere else, he's going to get super blocked by a Mythic with a 25 mana cost that's going to take way longer to get up. So you want to have Dust Devil in first slot just in case something survives, and you want to have Sister Superior in last slot because X is confirmed. So there's reasons. They're in the order for a reason, and it's for PlayStation, and it's different. Like on PC, you just hover your mouse above the confirm thing. You don't even you have to click with your mouse. Like there's no controller involved, so that you can put them in different order. You can do Dust Devil, Sister Superior, Double Ironhawk, or something like that, because it doesn't matter when you're on PC. But on a controller with the PlayStation, it matters. You want to have Sister Superior in the X slot. Sometimes that stuff like that, it matters. That's why, you know, me being free-to-play matters compared to somebody being VIP 20. You got to keep that in mind sometimes. Me being on PlayStation and having a controller matters. Sometimes I'm not wrong just because I'm different. I'm doing it because I'm on PlayStation and they're on PC. I'm doing it because I'm free-to-play and they're VIP 20 or whatever. So sometimes there's reasons that I do things different. Because I'm different. Like, I'm on PlayStation. I'm not on PC. It's different. So you want to think the same way. Like, you want to do things like a PlayStation person if you're a PlayStation person. You don't want to do things like a PC person if you're a PlayStation person. That doesn't work. Let's do another fight so I can... So I'm holding an L1 and I'm holding an X because X is confirmed. And then when I let it go, it hits it again pretty much. Like, I guess. So I'm technically hitting X twice, but I'm really just letting it go. It's like a... Boom, I'm letting it go like a button in a freaking drag car. Feels like a drag race, like I'm letting it go. Out of here. Anyway, let's go hunt versus for a minute, because that's what I do. I got 79 out of 100. If I go do a gap again, I'm definitely getting a boss chest. Then a freaking mimic could pop up, and then it ruins everything. And then you're sitting there like, oh no, a mimic, I'm doing a gap. Or whatever, like, whatever. I don't know if I say the exact right reason, but it still takes longer if you get a boss chest during a gap. It just does. Even if it's just real quick, it's still longer. But yeah, we got to switch our team. I can't believe I got 28 vault keys off that. I'm gonna go... Should I get my pities? Let's get my pities. Or should I just let them sit there so I know what I'm getting? I don't know. I think I'll just let them sit there for now. I like to go back and forth on whether I like to just collect them or I like to just sit there. Let them sit there, you know? And then another thing you can do is like do the XP booster while you're hunting versus. I usually wait until I get kind of annoyed and it's later in the day and I've been grinding for a while to then add that in so I can feel a little bit better about myself and like what I'm doing. Like, oh, at least I'm getting extra experience right now. Like, I've been grinding for an hour or two and I'm starting to get, you know, wanting to stop. But let's get some extra XP and I'll feel a little bit better and maybe I'll go a little bit longer. There's some mental gymnastics you do while you're doing the vault too. At least I do. I mean, not everybody's the same. But, like, putting all your vault keys to 0 before you start is kind of like a mental thing. You don't have to do that. It's not like... It doesn't help anything, really. It just... Mentally, you can see exactly how many vault keys you got. You set yourself to 0 now, and it kind of makes you want to go harder. At least me. You know, everybody's different. And then, the other thing... What was I talking about the other thing? Crap, I forget. Mental things you do for the game to make yourself... oh, yeah, the XP booster. So, after you're grinding versus for so long and you're, like, not getting the one you need, like Cindy or something, and you just keep getting the other ones and you're not getting the one you need, like, you start to get frustrated and you kind of want to just, like, oh, I'm done with this game. Like, it's getting annoying. I'm not getting the verse I need, and I've been grinding verses for hours. Well, that's when you would say, okay, let's add an XP booster in to make myself feel better. And then the genie and the daemon just be ready to cancel out of it. And I'm doing it wrong. But good question, Bruce. I like explaining that kind of stuff. Because not anybody else can really say that kind of thing. Like, I haven't heard it anyway. Like, you're not going to see that on other channels where they're on PC or something. Let's catch up in the chat before I verse hunt. Trying to find my spot. Rich Kaufman is here. He says, okay, I'm here, you dirty sinners. Oh, like and subscribe, you nobody boobies. That's what I like. James Smith says secondhand embarrassment. I'm sure people have secondhand embarrassment for me all the time, you know? Mark says, good job on keys. Thank you. Rich says, I'm at work, so I'll be lurking. Appreciate it, man. Yoke says, so say you get 20 keys per vault, and every 1 hour of gap equals 80 keys. You would need 12.5 hours of gaps to get 1K keys. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, we were going over that the other day, but the thing is, you have to have that many gaps. So, you know... You can't know. Most people can't run gaps back to back to back to back to back. And if they can, there was a time and a place where they weren't running gaps. They were collecting verses. So it all evens out in the end. I'm never impressed by people that have 100 gaps. I'm more like, why? Or if you have like 1,000,000 vault keys, I'm like, why? Why don't you open them? It's like having a stack of checks from your job and not cashing them. Look at my stack of checks, bro. I've been working hard. I mean, that's cool. You got. Why don't you go cash them and put them in the bank and have a bunch of money instead? Whether it's gaps or vault keys, that's the same metaphor. You have a big stack of checks from your job and you don't cash them. Like, you got it in there. You still have it. Like, your check, you're going to cash them one day. So it's still cool. Not saying it's not cool, but I don't get it because I would go and cash those checks and have that money. And then the money starts, like, working for you. If you just have a stack of checks nothing's ever going to happen with that stack of checks. You're not going to make any interest off it. You're not going to be able to take that money and buy something else and make more money. You're not going to be able to do anything with it. It's just a stack of checks that has money in it, but you don't even know how much. And it's just sitting there. So the guy who cashes his check and then uses that money to make more money every single time as soon as possible, or the person that stacks up a bunch of checks and then cashes them all at the same time and has a bunch of money, like the guy who cashes the checks immediately and then makes more money off the money is going to have more money in the long run than the person that just stacks a bunch of checks and then cashes them all at the same time. At least I feel. I mean, you could think about it the other way, though. You could say, well, if you have a stack of checks, then you're not going to spend that money. And if the other person's spending the money, so you could say the other way too, but depends. If you're good with money, then you're going to make more money if you open the checks immediately. If you're bad with money, then maybe you do just leave the checks and don't cash them. So maybe people that save a bunch of gaps are just bad with gems. And they want to have that. But then you're also, like, it's not an exact metaphor because a stack of gaps also equals a lot of time. Every gap is 15 minutes of your life that you're putting off. If you have 100 gaps, that's 25 hours of your life that you're just not... You're putting it off until later. You're going to have to do it one day. It's going to cost that amount of time no matter when you do it. So it's more like the other person hustled and got it done. And we're putting it off until later. The vault keys are the same thing. You got to run the battles to get the loot. So if you have a stack of 1,000,000 vault keys, yes, you know, you have there's gems in there, and a person that opens their vault keys, they get gems. You have a bunch of vault keys, you're gonna get gems. You could say it's pretty much the same thing. The difference is, the person that opened their vault keys already ran the battles, already got that time out of the way. You have to still do that, and that's a bunch of time in your future that you haven't done yet. So the other person technically did more than you, because they already did it. They already opened the vault keys. They already did that time. They don't have to do that now. Going forward, they never have to spend that time again because they already did it. You have a stack of 500 vault keys or something. That's also a stack of time that you're putting off until later. Depending on how long it takes you to do each vault key. These are both butt. Just choose one and get out of there. So that's how I see it anyway. It's still impressive. Like a huge stack of vault keys or a huge stack of gaps is still impressive. But it's not as impressive as you would really think. If you think about it. Because one person already did the work and the other person's putting the work off. And they're both going to end up in the same spot in the end. Sauna's here! Good to see you. It's all good. I was wondering for a second. I was about to, like, check Discord or something, because I know you sometimes have stuff going on. But Yoke, technically, you're right, but you also have to already have the gaps, which means you didn't do the gaps in a previous Vault event, because you're not getting that many gaps via regular gameplay. The people with 50 or 100 gaps got them through the Vault event, while they were not getting vault keys. It's one or the other. Like, everything has a trade-off. You can't get 100 gaps without not getting vault keys. And you can't get 100 gaps without... Yeah, it goes both ways. That's why I do a little bit of both, because it's the same thing. Like, I'm just getting my stuff immediately instead of stacking stuff up. That's more of like my like, I'd rather have it, be able to use it, instead of putting the time off and then having it. Sometimes I'm just explaining to you why I choose to do things the way I do things, and you can not do it the way I do it, or you can do it however way you want. It's a game. I don't know what you're doing, so I'm just explaining why I do things the way I do things. Alright, time to do a gap. We have it on paste, so it's a little bit faster. We go to games, we go to SoulForge. We go to other, we go down. Do Gnomapalooza, we got 6 of them. As soon as it hits 121, I'll fire it off. Alright, Chad, we'll see you, dude. Have a good day. You're the best. Nice job, Mark. I couldn't finish it because I didn't spend enough gems to get enough turns. 121, which would be 136. Let's go! See if I can beat 28 with no pity. 28 no diddy is my record so far. So I might not talk as much because I'm going to try to go super fast. It's all RNG though, whether you get vault keys or not from those gnomes. Every gnome has a chance at dropping a vault key. That's why you don't, like, poo-poo a soul gnome if you don't need souls, because it does have a chance at dropping a vault key, so... You're happy to see any gnome. Get a tiny little break during loading bars. That's why you can kind of watch something while you do this. You can watch a YouTube video or something. Mostly listen would be the best way to go. Find you a podcast or something, or Sinnycool. I kind of have like my laptop to the left and then my TV straight ahead, and I'll put on something I want to watch. There's a Dragonite gnome. He's going to survive, so we got to get yellow and brown. Got to know that ahead of time and find it quickly. And we don't care. We're not mad at that Dragonite gnome because he's giving us Dragonite, so it's okay to survive. That's the trade-off. And that was way too early in a gap to let him stay there and wait for it to run out. Just put something cool on another device. And mostly listen to it, because you want to be like looking at the screen. If you're trying to get as many vault keys as possible, you do have to kind of look at the screen. But when it's loading, like my long freaking PlayStation loading bar that cost me a bunch of vault keys, I'm sure. I'll be looking at this, the other screen during that loading bar. And sometimes I don't like do frame perfect freaking Sister Superiors, and I'll just... Or when you're verse hunting, you can pretty much just watch something while you're doing that, because it's not as consequential. Like, gaps is 15 minutes, you gotta, like, go hard and do your best. You can't have any distractions. But when you're hunting verses, you can kind of just do what, you don't have to be as locked in. Unless you're really going super hard and you want to try to get as many verses as you can. But that's the kind of like a break too. I just feel like the way I do it's the best way to do it for many different reasons. The reasons I already mentioned with the stack of checks and all that. And then just giving yourself a little variety. You're doing a gap, then you're hunting verses. Then you're doing a gap, then you're hunting verses. You're super locked in for 15 minutes. You can't have any distractions, and then you're not for 15 minutes or so, or whatever it is. Then you're super locked in for 15 minutes. You can't have any distractions, and then you're not for a little bit. Like I think it's the best way to do it. Like the best of both worlds. Best of both worlds. What is that? Isn't that an old TV show? Worlds. Weezamon. I haven't seen that name in a minute, I don't think. 2 load bars? I know. Sometimes me too. I get really mad when it's 2. Mrs. Insane Witch is here. Good to see ya. I've been really trying to be a jerk today. Just kidding. I don't try. It just happens. Can't control myself. But in saying that, I'm just trying to make everybody better at the game. So if you can have thick skin, you'll come out the other side with Stellarix and Zulgoth and all that stuff. So don't think I don't know what you're doing, so it doesn't matter. Like, if you're doing something wrong, let's say you're out there opening vault keys this weekend during the vault event. You know I have no idea that you're doing that, right? So it doesn't matter. Like, if I say, you should not do this, this is a cardinal sin, you don't have to get mad about it, because I don't even know that you're doing it. So it's no harm, no foul. All you can do, you can stop right now, and then you're not doing it anymore. So it's nothing to get mad about, because you're not doing it anymore. Something you didn't know, something you were doing, and now you're not doing it. Or you keep doing it and you don't care. It's a video game. Who cares? Like, I have no idea what anybody's doing, so I'm never singling any person out and like, oh, you're getting pets during a vault event. I don't know that. I'm just telling you that's not the way I do it, and that's not, I don't think it's right, but you keep doing it if you want. You can. Or you can stop doing it and no one ever has to know that you were doing it. I have no idea what anybody else is doing, so you can either choose to stop doing the thing I say that is bad, or you can keep doing it. And either way, I have no idea. So no one should ever get mad about a thing I say, because it's never something I'm saying because you're doing it. Like, because I don't know. How am I supposed to know? I would never... I secretly know that Mrs. Insane Witch goes after pets during a vault event, so I'm going to really drill down on it and talk about it so I can hurt her feelings. No! I have no idea. I don't know what anybody's doing. So it's never to hurt anybody's feelings. It's to... Because I want people to get Stellarix, and I want people to get Zulgoth, and I want people to have 20,000 gems. So I'm passionate about it, so it comes out the wrong way. Because that's like one of my favorite things ever is when I see a person like, I just got Zulgoth, I just got Stellarix, and I followed your advice. Like, that's, you know how good that feels sometimes? So I want to make that happen again. I'm always chasing that dragon. Be like winning a UFC fight or something. They're always chasing that because there's nothing like that feeling. If you help a person get a really difficult thing to get in a game that they've been trying to get, and they got it because they did something that you told them to do... Is this mic freaking dying? It's gonna die during a Gnomapalooza, I just know it. It just beeped at me. Yeah, multiple load bars can make you mad. Oops, I messed that one up. Mrs. Insane Witch is lurking. It's all good, Glorfindel. Me too. Especially unannounced visitors. That could be the worst. People don't even do that to me anymore, unless it's a stranger. So I know, if somebody knocks, it's a stranger, because people know not to do that. There's been too many times where they would come unannounced and I just would not answer, and then they wasted their time. So they're not stupid, they don't do it again. So if anybody knocks on my door, it's a freaking stranger, and I just don't answer. You must text or call first, or I'm not answering. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. Imagine opening your door to every single person that knocks or rings the doorbell. Like, that could be dangerous eventually. Probably not, but you never know. I've heard stories. Think that guy's from the electric company or the cable company and they force their way in, you know? You just can't just answer the door to everybody. Or it just could be an annoying person trying to sell you something, and now you got to waste 5 minutes of your life telling them. I went into the grocery store the other day, and there was one of those tables set up. I think they were selling cable or something stupid. Like, it wasn't even Girl Scout cookies. Like, if it's Girl Scout cookies, you can't be too mean, because it's like, little girls trying to hustle and get money for their little troop. So, you know. But if it's like grown-ass adults selling something stupid, like, I'm prepared to say something stupid. I forget what this one guy said. He walked up to me in the parking lot at the grocery store, and he asked me something. And I said something stupid back. I can't remember. Ah, crap. I wish I could remember. Because he asked something like, do you have cable? Like, do you have cable at your house? And, you know, he was going to try to sell me some cable, like, to a different company or something. I was like, no, I don't have cable. It's against my religion or something like that. Can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something like that. The hell is that? Oh, stupid moth? Stupid moth just cost me a vault key. I was killing it. Just a random dude walking up to me in the parking lot as I was getting in my car. He's like, do you have a car, sir? I'm like, nope. And I just drove away. The ladies at the other time, it was like ladies selling... I think they were both selling cable. Like, I don't get it. Like, how are you selling cable, walking around and stuff? Like, I was walking in, they're like, I like your shirt. Or I have that shirt too, or something stupid, which they probably don't. And I forget what I said, but it was something, and I just kept walking. I was like, yeah! I was like, yeah! And I just kept going. I probably caught them off guard with my enthusiasm. And then with my... And I like, I was walking fast, and I just walked even faster. They were standing there at a table, obviously selling things, and bugging every person that came in. So her strat with me was to tell me that she had the same shirt that I was wearing. And my strat back was just to scream, yeah! And keep walking. I thought it was funny, because she didn't say anything else. It worked. And then when I walked back out, they were still there. And they didn't say anything to me again. You gotta have the strat. I gotta get the strat out here for these little dummy kids. I gotta figure it out. Sometimes I can figure that stuff out. The way people might have to put some actual thought into making a team, says Glorfindel. Yeah, I hope so too, bro, for real. I'm not a big fan of this stuff, so I like that you're thinking outside of the box. I would rather, like, try something before the vault event than during it. Like, if it works, it works. Like, I got this thing... I had to tune it, tweak it. It's ready to go. I got a certain amount of NOS in there, you know. I hit a lick. I did a test pass. Well, I can't change anything now. I gotta go with what I got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna. It's time to race. But if it was like a week before the race, we could talk about maybe trying a different team. I don't want to reinvent the wheel during the event. So, but I totally agree. I hate the game being just all Stellarixes and Ironhawks all day and all night, and wands and red macaques, and that's it. You can break this down. You can break this game down to like freaking 5 things. It's getting ridiculous. You got Ironhawk to farm. You got Stellarix to kill. If you need a weapon that does damage, it's red macaque. If you need a weapon that does mana generation, it's wand. Like, we used to have to actually think. Nowadays, you just do wand and Stellarix, and you don't even have to think anymore. I feel like it's a secret agenda against YouTubers and streamers. Like, they're trying to make us obsolete by making the game so easy and brainless that you just use one thing. And why would you need any help from anybody? Because all you gotta do is do wand and Stellarix and talk Shaka. for everything. And if it happens to be the Vault event, you do Ironhawk or Rowan. And psh. What else do you need? Until you get Stellaryx, you use Rowan? Or like a Truffle Shuffle or something? Like, that's the only part. Like, the new account playthrough is really what people should be watching, because I don't have Stellaryx over there. I don't have any Mythics over there. That's the point of the game where you have to actually think. Once you get everything in the game, you no longer have to think. Once you have Stellaryx and Wand, you pretty much don't have to think anymore. You got the best troop in the game and the best weapon in the game, and now you just put them together and you never have to think again. So everybody's like it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's like wishing your life away. It's kind of like you're at work and you're wishing the freaking day would end. Well, you're also like, that's part of your life that you're wishing would just be done. And when you're trying to get Stellaryx and you're trying to get Wand and you're hoping and hoping and wishing and trying to get it, once you get it, it's pretty much the end of thinking, and you're kind of hoping to make the game, just the same thing over and over and over and over and over. It's weird. It's kind of a weird thing to and everybody does. I do it too. Everybody does it. We're all hoping to get that thing. It's like putting in the God mode cheat thing for like Doom or something. Not exactly, but like, yeah, it's fun, but once you like do it enough, you kind of get bored. Like, I want to actually have some danger. I want to actually like have to think a little bit. I actually want to play the game. I don't want to like, it's cool to have a really strong dragon and to be able to like for a week or 2 or 3 to be able to just like not have to think and just kill everything easily. That's cool for like maybe a month. But after a month or 2, you're going to start just like, you can't play God mode forever. Eventually you want something to shoot back. Eventually you want to have danger. Eventually you want to think again. So I totally agree with Glorfindel on that. And Sana says it all the time too, and Mark, like, they said once they got Stellaryx, they're kind of getting bored of it, like, eventually. Alright, let me see how many I got. We had 28 total, if I remember correctly. And now we have 47 total, so I did bad. I did bad. 47? So I got 19. Oh, I mean, that's average. Depends if you count pity or not. I didn't do bad, but I did worse. Maybe I will grab pity now. I don't know why. I like, go back and forth on pity keys. It's like if you put too many over here and you got to collect them one at a time, it's kind of annoying. So I kind of like grabbing them before it's like a billion of them. And then you're like, they all count, so nobody's not counting pity keys in their final total. So it's kind of, I don't really like breaking them out into their own thing. It's not like, you know, you get them. Not like you're getting something you're not going to get anyway. So they all count the same. But sitting here and doing this is annoying, so I want to get it done, get it out of the way. If you claim all, you're going to claim all your XP boosters, and then you're going to have to sit there and... You don't want to claim all. I'm saving these for when I get annoyed and bored. And if I collect them all, that's like a freaking hour and 15 minutes that I didn't want to do. So I just collect them because it's all the same. Now we have 61 vault keys, and my epics are low, but that's because of pity. It's because of pity. I'm technically like 1 under average on epic, so I am a little bit low on epic vault keys. You should get 10% of your vault keys in epics. Like, if you get 20 vault keys in a gap, you should get 2 epics. That's pretty much the average right there. Like 20 vault keys, 2 epics per gap. 10% of your vault keys should be epics. Maybe slightly less because of the pities. But basically, you should get 10%. So I should have like 5 right now. And eventually, that'll catch up. But we are like 1 low. I'd rather see 4 than 3 right now. And that's... Epics are so important that the difference between 3 and 4 does matter to me. But... back to Hunting Gap, or Versus, which is Hunting Gaps. So we need to switch our team back. And this is pretty much what you do all weekend. You've seen it. There's nothing different gonna happen. Like, you've seen everything I'm doing. This is gonna be all weekend. This, and only this. I'm not all of a sudden gonna go do a pet. I'm not all of a sudden gonna play PvP a bunch. I'm not all of a sudden going to go do Explore 12. I'm not all of a sudden going to go to the Underworld or something. The only thing that I maybe might do is Underspire, and I'm probably not going to because, I don't know. We'll see. If I already have like I'm already on track to get the amount of Vault keys that I want to get, and I kind of want to break from Vault because I'm burnt out a little bit, maybe I'll do Underspire, but I probably shouldn't. But that would be the only thing, and that's because it's guaranteed. 2 guaranteed major gold orbs in there. And that's one of the main things you're hunting right now while doing the Vault event. You're getting Vault keys to open the Vault keys, and one of the main prizes is those big golden orbs. So I've changed my tune a little bit. I have changed my tune a little bit on the Underspire and whether that's a good thing to do during the Vault event. And I think it's up to you. Like that, because there's guaranteed giant major gold orbs that you can double in there. And that's one of the main things you're looking for when you're doing the Vault event, when you're getting Vault keys. So it's up to you because you can also get gems and all kinds of other stuff from the Vault. But it's like iffy. It's RNG. You might not. Like they're guaranteed. They're over there. The guaranteed part is like makes up for the like other things you could get from the Vault keys. So it's hard to say if you should keep going in the Underspire or not. It's going to be up to you. At least in my opinion. I started like when I wasn't doing Underspire to full completion, I totally ignored the Underspire during a Vault event. Now that I'm doing it to full completion, I'm hemming and hawing and I'm not sure. So sometimes that happens. You got to think about like what you're getting. I'm always thinking about that too. Like I hate troops that have random spells, and I hate doubling the epic Vault key of the second Underspire boss, and like I don't like random things. I'd rather see like if it's a choice. If you can get this $100 bill, or you can have a chance out of $200 bills, or you get nothing. Which one are you going to take? Like I'm going to take the $100 bill every time, because if it's like a 50-50 chance on the other one, whatever. Even if it's any kind of chance on the other one, you could get nothing. You could get $0 over there, and you're just hoping for the 200. I'd rather take the 100 because I know 100. I'm going to get it. If I choose 100, I got the 100. So the Underspire is kind of like that. You know what's in there. You're going to get it. It's 2 big gold orbs. It's a silver orb. You're going to get some Dragonite. You're going to get the minion orb. You're going to get all that stuff as long as you know you can complete it. And then Vault keys are over here where you don't know exactly what you're going to get, but it's like everything in the game, and it leads to everything in the game. But it is a little bit of RNG, so it's kind of up to you on that. I don't think either way is wrong nowadays. But if you're not doing it to full completion, if you're not getting to the gold orb, then ignore it. It's a different story if you're not going to the 7th boss. Like, just do your free torches up until Thursday, and then ignore the Underspire if you're not going to the 7th boss. Alright, let's see what y'all are saying before I get going on these verses. Or these, yeah. Bazooka the Bruce said, I got Zul a few years ago because of your advice. Love it, dude. Thank you, Sana. Appreciate that. Always nice to know. Mark says, I owe my Stellarix to Cindy's advice. Saved me lots of time. Yeah, the freaking mic beeped at me, Sana. I don't know. Allie says, yeah, hurt my feelings. Next TOD, I'll mark all the powers as haste or luck. Muhahaha. I got you. I'm going to get you back, Allie. I promise. One of these days, I'm gonna crush one of these events. I'm just building my gem stack up. It's kind of hard being free to play and everything. Like, one of these days, though, you're gonna see me at the top of the leaderboard. I know I don't make up for all the other times, but I'm always right in the middle, unless they get it done super early. I don't know if I'll ever agree about the Tower of Doom stuff, but other events, I might step it up. Glorfindel says, I hope they nerf Stellarix and Takashaka Faka Blaka. Oh no, yeah, falling asleep during a Gnomapalooza is the worst. I do that all the time. I call those like crappy paloozas, like I had a crappy palooza because I was falling asleep during it. What's for dinner, Anita? Glorfindel says that way people might have to put some actual thought into making a team. I feel the same way. Rayman says nope, they will add new troops to counter the high damage, and then in version 9.0 they will add a counter to the counters. I do not, Mark, I do not. Rainman says, seriously though, I'm with you, bring back thinking to Gems of War. James says, I started my new account 3 weeks ago, level 400, pretty much used Rowan the entire time. Yep. Yeah, I know, I mean, yeah, that's a good counterpoint. Like, Rowan is also something that you can use in the early game for quite a while. But that's good, yeah, good job. Professor, and hey, that's advice, and you used it, and it worked. Professor says, I keep saying PvP needs rarity restrictions. Epic Red would be... Yeah, that'd be cool. What is the point of different PvP areas? It's just something... It's a new update that they added, and, you know... They get to move a little diamond around for your... I don't know, just to put some variety in it, I guess, and... Different restrictions... spice it up a little bit. The main reason was they were seeing way too many like of the same defend teams and like the same offense versus the same defense every time in PvP, and now they included different restrictions so you can't do that anymore. But then they add Stellarix and Wand where you can use that in most of the areas. So I don't know what they're doing. They keep going back and forth on it. So I can give you the answer, but then like they keep making that answer wrong. I don't know. I don't know, James. I'm not a big PvP fan anyway. 3 weeks? Yeah, that's good. Glorfindel says, it's just catering to the butter-eating numbnuts. Back in the day, we used real teams. Osha's Tome was an awesome weapon. Mistralis was awesome. For crying out loud, Zool Pants has been on holiday. I feel ya. At least you can't use Wand of Stars everywhere anymore, because there's no thinking evolved. There's no challenge, really. Yep. Glorf says, I make teams of common or rare troops in PvP just to give me satisfaction when I kick their butts. I feel ya. Bogstrider, Leshy, Leocorn, and Satyr get love from Glorfindel. Ali says they lowered the drop rate of epic keys. I've been tracking the events. I haven't seen a difference, but, you know. I haven't seen a difference, but I've heard people saying that, so... It's been a thing since the beginning of time, though. You know what I mean? So I can't... I've seen people saying that since epic vault keys were introduced. So... It's hard for me to like take it seriously until somebody really has a bunch of proof and the devs come out and say, oops. Because I've seen that since the beginning of time. People complaining about the drop rates in epic vault keys. And I have never seen it. Like, mine have always been okay, so... Sana says, can you play Vault on your new account? I haven't checked yet. Mark says, I thought the same thing. James says, you can play Vault event really early. I was at a point where I couldn't even kill the level 20 gnome, so I had to wait. Yeah, I might have to wait, too. Glorf says, seriously, they should make it so each troop has like a tank of gas. As you use it, it empties. Once empty, it has to be rested to recover. That'd be sick. I would like that idea. Jets is here. Good to see you, man. Sometimes I just go for Lantern on Boss 4, spend 50 gems 4 to 5 days. It's not bad. I don't. The only ones you shouldn't do are 3 and 5, so 4's not bad. If you save gems, if you're not going to 7. If you're not going to 7, then 4 is like the next best thing. Anita says dinner was eat what you can catch, mainly just ham and cheese sandwich. He was tired of cooking today. Take a break and chase gnomes. Allie says, you know what's more fun than winning a Palooza? Getting scorpion stung while playing a Palooza. Ooh! Mark says, Yoke, I just got my second 50 Dragonite Gnome today, so that makes 100 Dragonite just from today. Hope that helps. Yeah, today's the day. Mr. Z is here. Pony Burger on the menu today. Rain Man's out of here. Have a good one, dude. Thanks for dropping by. Always nice to see you. I think I'm going to run like one more gap, and then I'm going to have to get out of here too. So let's get to that boss chest and then run that gap, and then I am out of here as well. So we got, you know, 20 to 30 more minutes left. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything. Tomorrow is spoilers. We'll see what's going on next week, tomorrow morning on the stream. And then we'll do more Vault event on main account. So same thing tomorrow. If you're disappointed that I'm ending the stream in about 20 to 30 minutes, well, I'll be back tomorrow morning and we'll do some more. And then Sunday we get to see what's up with the new account as far as the Vault event goes, whether we will do it or not. I'm not sure yet. I'm leaning towards no, just because we're so low and we don't even have Rowan yet. We have Rowan, but we just got it. Like, we just got it. We still need to level her. We still need to make sure she has a weapon that makes sense to go with her. Like, I hope we can be done with those goblins because they've been hurting my brain a little bit. I totally recommend it. There's not a reason not to recommend it. Like, it's different when you're playing the game off stream, off video, not talking, and like my brain's already doing something else and it already kind of gets tuckered out after a stream. But when I'm sitting there using a goblin team where you have to think every freaking move and I'm streaming, like, it really taxes my social gas tank, at least, and my... Yeah. Like, I'm already, like, tuckered out after a stream, so using a goblin team the entire stream kind of... You gotta think the Boar Rider removes a row, and you can make so many things happen, and I can't stop myself. Like, I gotta, like... I always gotta try to make something happen with those troops. You could just freaking cast them and not think so much, but I can't help myself. Oops. Just like I almost couldn't help myself from getting that extra turn. But I almost can't wait till we get Rowan going. So I'm probably gonna force it on Sunday. Like, we don't have guard medals yet. We don't have golden cog yet. We don't even have black manacles yet. We don't even have a mountain crusher yet. So it's gonna be weird, but I might try it. Like, maybe one of those purple scythes with Rowan, Clockwork Sphinx, and Leprechaun, or I don't know. That was my first thought. But then we're gonna have 3 purple troops. So it could be a different color weapon too. Not sure yet. If we got Rowan, who's green and blue. We got Clockwork Sphinx, who is brown and purple. And we got Leprechaun, who's green and purple. We could use like a yellow weapon. I guess yellow or red. But then you want a weapon that hits all enemies to clean up for Rowan. So I don't know if there's weapons that hit all enemies in yellow and red. The only color that does that, I think, is purple early. And I guess you don't have to count the Leprechaun as being purple since it's empowered, but the Clockwork Sphinx is. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Jet says Firebomb versus Firebomb plus Sunbird should work well. That's a goodie, oldie but a goodie. I used to be one of the, like... I used to be one of those teams back in the day. That was like the quick team back in the day, wasn't it? I remember that. Sunbird and Firebombs. I think that was before Rowan, like, had so much armor and such a high boost ratio, and... Like, before the Mirage Queen came into the game, and everybody used to do Sunbirds and Firebombs back then. Something happened to where it changed, and that was no longer used. It was like right around when Miraji Queen got introduced, I think. Hearing some commotion in the ocean. What can I tell y'all about what's been going on around here? Looked like a big party was getting thrown 3 doors down. But then they all dispersed, so it wasn't too bad. I'm like the, you know that sign? The neighborhood watch guy? That's pretty much me. This stupid camera, like, kind of annoying, actually. Ever since I got it. I almost don't recommend it. Sometimes you don't want to see what's going on. Like, I never have the audio part on, because I don't want to hear anybody saying anything. Like, I don't care. That's one of my flaws, like, back when I was working at a place for a dude. Like, I'm sure I could have, like, heard certain things and got a heads up on certain things if I was really one of those type of people to eavesdrop and care about everything everybody said about me. Most of the time, I was like, I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I know they're over there probably saying something, and I could probably sneak behind that row of boxes and listen, but I don't want to hear it. That'll just ruin my day, and I don't really care. Like, say what you're gonna say, little snake. It is what it is. I'm too busy. I'm too busy for that crap. You over there talking all freaking day with every person you see, not working, making crap up about people, and I'm sitting here working, barely having enough time to get everything done, so screw you. I don't care what you're saying over there. Doesn't end up working out well because you know who gets ahead in those places is the snaky snakertons. They talk crap about people, and then they, you know, get ahead, taking credit for things they didn't do, and making people doing stuff they're supposed to be doing, and shining the boss's shoes, and whatever the boss man's hobby is, they take that hobby up, and that's the best way. If you ever, that's just the best. That's the strat. That's the American strategy. It's not go to school. It's not get smart. It's not work hard. The American strategy these days is to be a snaky snakerton, talk crap, put other people down, put yourself over, take credit for stuff you didn't do, shine the boss's shoes, and take up the boss's hobby and chat him up about it. That's the best way to get ahead in America these days. If you could go to school for that, that'd be cool. They should just be like a really realistic class in college. Like how to be a snaky snakerton 1.0. 101. Politics 101. I thought we was gonna be talking about Ukraine and the border and economics, and nope. We're talking about how to send an email to Becky about Ron. Talk crap about Ron to Becky. What kind of politics class is this? Today's lesson is how to take credit for something someone else did. In today's lesson, we learn you don't work hard. You just say stuff. In today's extra credit curriculum, find out the boss's hobby and make sure you take up that hobby and learn everything about it. Especially if they're the owner of the company. They will find out the boss's right-hand man that he will never get rid of, and become best friends with that guy. In today's... Alright, what am I doing? Paste. Okay. Too busy blabbing. You see that guy out there that is working really hard and can barely get his work done? Don't go help him. Go chat up that other guy that's doing nothing and talk crap about the guy that's working hard. There you go. Now you'll be at the top of the company in no time. Okay, Soul Forge. Let's catch up in the chat, then we'll run a gap, then we'll be done. And then we'll do the same thing tomorrow, except for spoilers at the start. Would I be able to do Sunbird and Firebomb on my new account yet? Oh, I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to if I got those. Doesn't Firebomb need to be empowered, too? I'd have to trade them. I don't know. I might try it. That's a good idea. I just, like, already have Rowan. I already have Clockwork Sphinx. I already have Leprechaun. Like, I'm so close to that team that I might as well not even... And I gotta show other people. Like, my whole strat was Goblins, Rowan, Underworld Legendaries, Guardians. I'm trying to follow my own path of advice and make sure it works. But, yeah, maybe we could do that for... If I have it, and if it would work. Maybe we could do it for, like, a stream, just to show that it also works. I don't know. I'd have to check it out. Yoke says, I think I'm 1,200 or 1,300 away from Stellarex. Nice, good job. Bombot's definitely... That might be the new... Bombots might be the new Sunbird Firebomb, I think. There is a team. It's like Bork. It's like Hero as a mechanist with, like... I don't know, like Red Macacal or Black Manacles or something. And then like 2 Bombots, maybe? There's a team that is pretty quick with Bombot. And it's because Mechanist has the 50% start, and like Bork is awesome, and then the Bombot's got like a little buff a while ago, right? Something like that. That might work. Yoke says this weekend is gonna help. Glorf says, hey, Yoke, I'm about 4,500 dragons away. You're 4,500 dragons away from Stellarex. Morgan Camocat says, my wife speed plays no matter what the team. It drives me crazy because I take my time and study the different moves. Yeah, there's 2 different ways to do it. With the Goblin team, you can really sit there and make some crazy moves happen if you think about it. But then you got your Rowan team where you just brrr, and you don't have to think. Professor says, can Moon Mage clear Explore 1? Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. It's when you need to level Doomsayer, which I do need to level it, but Ironhawk's always faster. Like, if Moon Mage is more comparable to Rowan than it is to Ironhawk. But it's up there. Like, Glorfindel convinced me that it's definitely as good as Rowan, at least. But Rowan can level every class, and Moon Mage can only level Doomsayer. But it's a nice, like, hey, to take one Vault event to do the Moon Mage, everybody might want to do that. And, before you get Ironhawk, of course. That might be a thing you should do. Use Moon Mage for the entire Vault event for one Vault event to level Doomsayer to 100. It might be something every person should do at least once. There's a whole video about it. Me and Glorfindel made a video about the Moon Mage team. So if you look it up, you should probably... It's like, I forget what I called it, but you could probably just look up Sinnycool Moon Mage. Glorf says, hey, Cinny, I now have all classes and factions done, so my new vocation is moaning about stuff. No Death Knight, no Poopy Ricks, and no Talk Shaka Waka Waka. Nice, dude. VIP 3 is pretty low, too. Sana says, yeah, I have the same Cinny. Everybody in my street know me, but I don't know them. Mark says, I try Scratchers daily to get ahead in America. Professor says, how to suck up and not impress others. Rant time, says Sana. They find me annoying because I'm not impressed with anything. Same here. If you pop a willy, I'm not looking. You know what I mean? If you're doing a crossover fadeaway in the grocery store as a 9-year-old child, I'm not looking. Even if you do it 4 times in a row and keep following me around and doing it. That's why I'm not looking, because that's annoying. Sorry. I didn't care the first time. We quit following me around and doing it. That's weird. Maybe I look a type of way that little kids want to impress me. I don't know. Like, Please go away. I don't like other people's kids. I don't, you know, if you're cool, I always say that and it sounds crazy, but if you have well-behaved kids and you're a good parent, like I don't hate your kids. I'm just not. It's like the kids that suck that I hate. They have sucky parents, and that's the reason they suck. All right, one sec, y'all. And then I'll run this gap. I'll plug something in. All right, let's go. Let's wait until 2:06, and that'll be 2:21. I know a lot of y'all don't even have kids. I think most of y'all, your kids are grown, or you're a good parent, probably. Like Maka's a good parent, I'm sure. Most people that I know that they have kids, their kids are like 20, like already out of the house, adults now. I might be the one with the most kids that are still in the house. All right, 2:06 would be 2:21. Let's go. Cinemirage. Did I switch my team? I hope I did. Sometimes I screw up and I forget to switch my team. And then you got to sit there and look for your sister superior. All right, last one. 15 minutes. I had one move out because, well, you guys don't know everything about everything, so. Like, 2 are mine and 2 are hers, basically. So I don't literally have 4. But I'm the stepdad. I've been with them their whole life, so, you know, I pretty much just say I have 4 kids, like most people would. Well, one of the kids that I'm the stepdad, they moved to their dad's. Because I tell you guys, this place sucks. And I said, you know, I don't blame you. I'm kind of sad, but I don't blame you. So I have one less kid now. This might just be for the summer and stuff. It's like a new thing that they're trying out. Might not be permanent. You know, school's out. They're going to their dads for the summer, pretty much is how I'm thinking about it. But I know, like, deep down, they hate this place. We're trying to move. It's taking forever. And I was like, I don't blame you. I'm sad, but I don't blame you. But let's get it, baby. I want like 25 at least vault keys. I want to see my epics go up by a little bit. Please. Got a Dragonite Gnome. Got to find yellow and brown. Quickly, 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 dummy. If not, you find green. Come on, dum-dum. What are you doing? There's green. Jeez, that took too long. Brown, yellow, green is what you look for when you're, you got that Dragonite Gnome surviving. Or skulls. And that's why they're in this order, too. Like, you don't want Ironhawk in first slot. I think that's a cardinal sin. When something survives, then you have to get up a giant Ironhawk that's blocking your Dust Devil. You don't want that. So I have them in this order for a very specific reason. I couldn't switch anything on the team or it wouldn't work like the way it's working. And it's all about the controller and if something survives. Repeating myself, it's my favorite thing to do. I call it reinforcement. I got 2 loading bars. Nice. So if I don't get a lot of vault keys, I'm blaming that. It's not because I ran backwards either. Wrap it back around. The money machine. It's hard to do like the train story and the swing story when I'm on the new account and when I'm doing a vault event. Any other time, I love doing that stuff. I think it's fun. For some reason, when I'm super concentrated on the game, I don't go do that side quest as much. I do appreciate it. trying to get as many vault keys as I can right now. Come on, I suck. Glorfindel says the Moon Mage team can be used to level any class. You just get the extra purple gem explosion with Doomsayer class, which can make it even quicker sometimes. Yeah, I'm not going to say it can't, but I felt like for it to be comparable to Rowan, it felt like it needed that Doomsayer. Like, otherwise, I would just use Rowan. I'm saying I approve of the Moon Mage team with the Doomsayer class on, for sure. Otherwise, I'm not 100% sure it's faster than just doing Rowan. It was a good team, though. The way you showed with the team code you gave me, it was with the Doomsayer, so that's... It's pretty, I mean, it's 8 mana cost, so low. It's got a low mana cost, and it does hit hard enough to clear. So, it's close. I'd have to run it again without the Doomsayer. Remember when you first mentioned it, I tried it. I tested it a little bit. But since then, I think I've had it locked in on Doomsayer. And I run it every once in a while, show people. Maybe we should do that real quick before we end the stream. Like, show them the other 2 appropriate teams you could do. Don't you hate when people just run Stellarix the whole stream? Or it's almost the same thing to run Ironhawks the whole time, but... It's because it's Vault, and it's very precious, and you gotta use all your time. You can't just fart around. And normally I just go do my Ironhawks the whole time, and... I wonder if I still have that Moon Mage team saved. I think I do. I usually don't. If I like a team real... Like, some of your teams are still there. That you've given me. Yeah, when you just need a change. I think, worst case scenario, like, I just feel like Doomsayer on the Moon Mage is, if you want to present it as a thing that is as fast as Rowan, that's the way to present it. That purple explosion, making sure you get the mana. But if you did like a Rowan team with Archer versus a Moon Mage team with Archer, I don't know that I would bet on the Moon Mage over time. Like, getting... If you took the Moon Mage with Archer and you ran it the whole weekend, and then you took Rowan with Archer and you ran it the whole weekend, I'd probably bet on the Rowan, but I don't know. I might lose. Also depend on the player and RNG and everything, so... I'm just saying I would probably bet on Old Faithful, because I know how it works. Stella and Tuck, Shaka Wan teams are boring, yeah. Boring to watch, for sure. There's a time and a place, definitely, because if we play this game every day... Like, we can't totally poop on the Stellarix. I think, like Glorfindel said, if they had a gas tank type of deal, then you would have to use it only for certain things. Then the other downside to having that little mechanic would be that it would feel more like one of those games where you're time gated. Like, you can't even play. You feel like you can't even play. Some people would treat it like that. They would be like, oh, my Stellarix is out of gas, and now I gotta wait. I'm not allowed to play the game. You know? There's some games where you, like, get on for the day, and they let you do, like, one thing, and then there's, like, you gotta wait. They want you to spend money, so they're like, here, you can give us $3 if you want to play more, or you can wait 30 minutes. That's how they make their money. That's the type of game I play like once a day. I'm like, screw you. I'll play, and then when you tell me I gotta wait, I'm not playing till tomorrow. I'll play it once a day. And I'll see what I can do once a day. Because I'm not sitting here and logging in every 30 minutes just because you told me to. Trey with the 3, thank you so much, bro. Trey with the tray. Scottie Pippen. Wasn't Scottie Pippen 33? Trey with the tray. I don't think I've ever told y'all this, but one of my kids' names... Like, I like that name. You probably think that's my name, like... If you really look deep into it, and you had to guess what my name was, you'd probably say that, but it's not right. Just know I really like Trey's name. Trey Bobuff. Just gave you some information that I probably haven't given out before. My name is George, yep. Our people didn't like it when I did that last time now, Mr. Z. I don't want to give out that information about my name. Frank. Yeah, my name's Frank. We got Frank. We got a Frank here. We have Frank. We have Mark. We used to have a Tim. We used to have multiple Tims. We used to have multiple Chads. We used to have like 3 Chads. You guys remember when we had 3 Chads? Anybody remember that? We were chatted out. We were like the Chads. I forget the 3rd Chad's name. Does anybody remember? Like, I know a lot of people that are here now weren't here back in the day. But I remember Chad Plime. I think Chad changed his name. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe there wasn't 3 Chads. Maybe there was just 2 Chads. But Chad changed his name back in the day. My name is Doris. Dora the Explorer. Yeah, Sana, I don't think you've been around long enough. There was, not that you haven't been around a long time, but this happened like 3 years. There's like multiple Chads like 3 years ago. Yeah, Mike, Mike D, of course. Mike Sheared. Yeah, we have 2 Mikes. Allie says, I am actually me. Allie, your name is Allie? I didn't know that. I wonder if Anita's name is Anita. Isn't Sana, your name's Sana, huh? I know that. Because that's a cool name, and you said it was common in your country. If you came to America and had that name, it would not be common. And we'd probably think it's cool. Just for reference. Glorfindel, your Mark. We got some Marks, right? We got Mark Nugent and Glorfindel now. Man, that's a solid name then. Chad's always been a solid name. Mark's always now is a solid name. Let's go. I don't know that I've ever seen my name. I think I have. It's never... It's not like it's never been in the chat before. I think it has. It's not like a weird one. I wish it was. Like, I don't even... Shasta? That's cool. Yeah, Sana, that's why I never did it. I was thinking ahead all this time. I'm not hiding anything. It's not like... I've been thinking ahead this entire time. I don't want any... Yeah? I don't want any weird people. I don't want 10 pizzas coming to my door, you know what I mean? I feel like some people are really smart, and the more information you give them... Like, just don't ever start giving out... If you're trying to be like a YouTuber, if you don't want weirdos to happen, you gotta like think way ahead. and just try to never give out too much information. Even Sauna's having weirdos. You know what I mean? Somebody was claiming they wanted to come over from the UK and terminate me a long time ago. Anita, short for your real name. Mr. Z? No, I don't think you did it. Yeah, why would people do that? That's freaking weird, Sauna. Especially if you don't want... Like, who would want... I don't know. That's just weird. Who does that? Hopefully they got banned off the forum. Yeah, me too, Mark. Let's go. Let's get the other Mark, and let's go. We'll find them for you. That's why I hate the forum. You guys know I hate the forum. That just proves it. It's like everything else when I'm saying don't get pets during blah, 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 blah. Like, eventually, I usually know what I'm talking about. Even if you don't see it immediately right now, it'll happen eventually, I promise you. I hate the forum. They are weird. Here we go. They're posting pictures of Sauna on there. That just proves my point that I've always known they're weirdos on the forum. You can call that confirmation bias or whatever you want to call it. It's just like, I say a thing, I think it's right now, and it just keeps getting proved right over and over until people just like finally accept it. And then they just, it's been so long since I said it, like, they don't even give me the credit anymore. Like, I'll say the forum people, that's not even a thing, like, just, you know. Most people know the forum's weird, but it's just another example of something I've known for years. And then they just keep proving me right. Their weirdness. There was a thing on EverQuest where I was talking about trolls and weirdos and stuff, and during the video where I was talking about trolls and weirdos and stuff, I was talking to another guy right there next to me while I was making the video, and he was telling me about a freaking weirdo troll that just did something to him right there. Like, he just left. He had to come where I was because some other guy was being weird. And I'm like, dude, I'm literally talking about that right now. Like, I was like, proving me right. This is a random person coming out of nowhere and saying the exact, like, reinforcing the thing I was literally saying at the moment on my video. Like, they gave me the whole story to, like, back my own, like, thing up. Like, he was doing a camp. He was hunting a certain enemy, and somebody was, like, making fun of him for killing that certain enemy. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, who cares? Go. Why you gotta say anything? Just move on with your day. Who cares what this person's doing in the game? Like, move on with your day, dude. And it's because they probably were trying to get the camp for themselves, for real. And they made him leave. Now he's over here telling me about it. He's not there anymore, so now they're probably killing it. Yeah? People are weird. Who cares what another person's doing in a big open world game where you can go 50 different zones? Like, just, who cares if this guy's in the corner playing with his wiener? Who cares? This guy's over here killing an ant over and over and over. Who cares what they're doing? Like, why do you gotta even say anything? People are weird, that's why. Weird trolls. Or they have a ulterior motive. They want to play with their wiener in that corner, so they want you to leave so they can do it. And they're just making fun of you because they want you to leave so they can take your spot. Don't get tricked out your spot. That's pretty much what I told them. I was like, hey, next time they do that, don't let them trick you out of your spot. Like, who cares what they're saying? Just don't even listen. You go block them, whatever. Self-Sufficient 100 is here. How's it going? I'm about to get out of here, though. Let's check my vault key total before we go. And I'll catch up in the chat if you guys said anything that I haven't read yet. As you know how we do. We got to do the roll call. So I still have all this to use up. I pretty much forget. I think of it more when I start to get frustrated or bored. And then I add it on top, like a little cherry on top to make me keep going. Like I keep saying. I don't know why I keep talking about the stupid XP booster. That really doesn't matter that much, but it's just a thing. I was going to try to show the Moon Mage team one time. I don't remember if I have it still. There it is. Should have done this. Let's see what it does. Might not have the right metals on. I forget if you need the right metals. Why? Don't do that. What are you doing? It's okay though, because that was up, so... I have the wrong metals on, I think. Or maybe my Doomsayer's not right or something. Normally she gets right up. That was an anomaly. Do you need the Anu? I haven't used this in a million years, so bear with me. Not because she gets 50% started, so you don't need the Anu. You probably don't even really need the Nisha for Explorer 1, but... Is it the trait that does it? My Doomsayer's not at 100. Yeah, it's the trait. Okay. Maybe we need a Blue Storm. Okay, Demonic Rage, all damage gain 1 attack. No. Gain 8 life. 2 magic fusion scythe. Steal 1 life. Cleanse myself. Free. Soul Collar. Recover. Disease. I'd rather have the Ice Storm, right? Doomstorm. Gain 4 life from matching green. Steal 2 life from the first enemy. Gain bonus green mana. I don't think the Death Mark's gonna have time to go off. Maybe that'll help. I guess you have like multiple things that could get up. Like normally the Moon Mage is the one getting up and casting. For some reason those first 2 fights it was the weapon and the King Averlorn. There we go. Similar to Rowan. That's the best way to put it, is it's similar to Rowan. Is you gotta cast the Leprechaun to get up the Moon Mage to cast the Moon Mage. Just like you cast the Leprechaun to get up the Rowan to cast the Rowan. Now see right there, we didn't have to do anything. That's that little Doomsayer explosion I was talking about. Sometimes that'll make it to where it's just up and you cast it, no Leprechaun. I should probably just be casting this, huh? Yeah, it's pretty fast, man. If you want a different team from Rowan, this is what I recommend, not anything else. And I still recommend Rowan mostly. It's like you're just sick and tired of Rowan. You use it for everything. You don't have Ironhawk yet. See that? Bang. Sometimes like Rowan doesn't do that quite as much as Moon Mage. I don't think. Cause she's like 4 mana. You need 5 mana. I think Rowan needs 6, so it's 1 less mana. You're blowing up a purple, so you might as well call it 2 less mana, at least. Even though you only get 50% when you blow up something, but... It's like 1.5 mana less than Rowan. And then it can clear Explorer 1 in one shot. You can 50% start it with King Averlarn. It's like, like I said, if you're not using Doomsayer, it doesn't do that thing as much. That, you know, really impressed me. With it getting up without you even have to cast a Leprechaun. But anyway, if you want to try it out, I'm rusty with it. But if you really use it, it's pretty fast. It's Rowan comparable. I'd rather see you do that than like a Red Macaque or a Phoenicia or a Diamantina Stellarix or something like that. But anyway, I better get out of here. Let's see if I can find my spot in the chat. Glorfindel remembers Chadfest. Yeah, you do that when you need a change, like Professor said. Yeah, I got a lot of Dragonite Gnomes, Mark. I'm telling y'all. This game is annoying sometimes. I have Stellarix, I have Diamantina, now Dragonite is just falling from the sky. You know how it goes. It's dumb. I hate it. It's stupid. I'll get perfects in the dungeon more than I used to get perfects in the dungeon. That stuff like I don't need diamonds anymore. I'll get giant drops of diamonds. That was the thing before purple orbs. Before I could get every new mythic in the game, I was like, man, I hope I get a purple orb, and it would always be like a green or orange or something. As soon as I now have like all the troops in the game and I don't need purple orbs anymore, purple orbs are out the butt, falling from the sky all the time. As soon as I don't need mythics and I don't need diamonds and you know, I'm getting diamonds out the butt, like falling from the sky. As soon as I get Stellarix and Diamantina and I don't need Dragonite anymore, Dragonite just falling from the sky all over the place. Like, I feel like they throttle you until you get it, and then they just give you a bunch of it after you get it. And it, like, evens out to be their stupid, like, here's how much you're supposed to get on average, it's this much. But they throttle the crap out of you until you get it, and then they make it fall from the sky and you get it out the butt after you get it. So it evens out to be whatever they said it was. You know what I'm saying? Sana says I'm still not used to Ironhawk. I keep matching 4 and 5. Yep. Yeah, that's some weird crap, like Anita said. Professor says body rot, dude. Stop, Tootie. Body rot. Sana says I just ignore the F out of them so they have no food for a fight. Self-sufficient. Something different is always fun. Mark says I've never seen that team before. There you go. Professor says sometimes I run that team in a place with either green or purple enemies, and the mana seems to fall in my favor to get her going. Yeah, I got a bunch of video. Like, you guys, you think I just stream all the time? I've only been doing that since January. Before January, I was putting pre-recorded videos out, top 10 lists, guide videos. There's so many videos on this channel. Like, the Moon Mage video is in there somewhere. If you need a top 10 whatever, it's in there somewhere. If you need a guide of something, it's in there somewhere. Like, I used to make videos like that all the time, every day. So, if you ever, like, go to my channel and just search whatever you're looking for. And I guarantee, if it's not there, tell me, because then I'll be surprised. Like, that's what the channel was. We weren't a streaming channel before, like, this year. Like, we would stream, but we would stream, like, once or twice a week. Most of y'all know that. And we've tried streaming every day before, but it was only for like a month, way back in the day in the summer, a couple years ago. But before this year, I was making those videos every day. So if you're looking for anything and you don't want to watch a 2-hour video, a 1-hour video, I might have it. You just got to go look for it on my channel. Unfortunately, at the moment, the way that YouTube is for Gems of War, there's a channel out there that's just spamming videos every day, like 3 videos a day. So it's hard to, if you just look on YouTube, it's going to be hard to find my stuff. So you got to go to my channel and then look on my channel for those videos if you want to see my stuff. Because you're not going to, YouTube, you know, they're not doing me any favors. Like, they're favoring the guy doing 50,000 videos a day. And all he's doing is watching my old stuff and making new videos. Well, that's what he used to do. I mean, he probably don't need to do that anymore. I'm not saying he's doing that now, but that's how he got to where he is. So, you know, sometimes... Anyway, I'll shut up. But, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. Helps a lot. Get about channel comment below. And I'll see y'all next time. That guy from your second guild, I just watched that vid. Oh, like... But thanks for joining me today. The Professor, Sana, Mark, Anita, self-sufficient 100. 100% self-sufficient. There you go. Professor, Anita, Mark, Mr. Z, Glorfindel. We got Mr. Z. We got Trey Bobuff with the 3. Thank you so much. You're a legend. Oh, yeah. Hold on a sec. I thought FedEx knocked, but they didn't. We're almost done. The Professor, Glorfindel, Morgan Camo Cat, Yoke the Ham, MJK Jets. We got Anita. We got Ali Bandy. We got Jets. We got Rain Man. We got James Smith in the house. Rain Man was here. James was here. The Professor was here. Glorfindel was here. Sana was here, of course. Bazooka the Bruce. Weezaman was here. Good to see you today. Mrs. Insane Witch, always good to see you. The Professor, Yoke, James, Bruce, Chad, Rich Kaufman, Anita, Clip Bomb Chad with the 2. Thank you so much, bro. Professor. Anita with the gifted went to Tyrion Shark. Oh, he can't get away. We got that fishing rod with the hook on it. And he's a shark. We can see, you know, his butt hangs out of the water. If you remember his juicy hiney. So he's easy to catch. We throw that rod out there, that hook out there in front of that juicy booty, and he gets it every time. He takes the bait every time. Dez, the Enforcer, that's why he's the shark. He swims. He's got a juicy booty. It looks like a fin, like a shark. He's like a shark. The Professor, Yoke the Ham, RC Doocy, RC, Weezaman, Brewster, Vicious Crow. Crow was here, dropping out of the rafters like Sting. Got RC, we got Glorfindel, we got Charles Wright. Charles Wright was here. And we're back so far that I can't go any further. That means you guys chatted a lot. That means I appreciate you. That's awesome. My screen says Mark and then Charles then Glorfindel, but I don't believe it. But those are 3 people that are here all the time, so it could be. No problem, Sana. You got, like, extra credit anyway. It's all good. Nobody has to do that. Definitely helps. Definitely helps, but nobody has to do anything. I mean, you know, anyway. I appreciate it. Don't do it if you can't do it. But I'll see you guys. You're the best. Get them vault keys. Let's go. Don't get distracted. But hey, it's a video game. Do whatever you want. And I don't know what you're doing, so do it. But I'll see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. Peace out. Thank you very much.